All right, good evening, everyone. Again, I would like to welcome every one of you to today's show. Droplet is here again. And of course, as you know, on this channel, we try to help as many people as possible, one relationship at a time, to get better and to get healthy, to be much more um, godly, to be much more peaceful, to be much more like paradise. You understand? And that way, the world will eventually be a better place. Yes, today we are looking at choosing a life partner. That is what we're looking at today. And I want you to please stay tuned. If you've not subscribed to this channel and you're watching me right now, I'd like you to click on that red button to subscribe to this channel so that you can always be informed automatically whenever we come online. Whenever I post a new video, you will be informed. So before we dive into the topic of today, which is choosing a life partner, um, let us just listen to this little intro. All right, welcome back to the show again. Again, we're looking at choosing a life partner. Now, you would agree with me that marriage is a good thing. Marriage is a wonderful thing. In fact, God Himself supports marriage because He is the one that started it in the first place in the Garden of Eden when He created Eve for Adam, that both of them may be together. May have, Adam will have companion. Adam will have an helper. Adam will have somebody, with him there in the garden to help him with, most of the tasks or all the tasks that God has given to him. So it is important that we understand that background that marriage is very, 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 very good. Yeah, it's a very good thing. Okay, so today we'll be looking at choosing a life partner. Few tips to consider. It's important that we don't just jump into conclusion when it comes to us choosing a life partner. As far as marriage is good, as far as marriage is very, very wonderful institution, it is not something we just jump into. In fact, it is required that we take ample time, enough time to think and to look and to watch and to observe before we decide who we are actually going into marriage with. All right. In somewhere in Proverbs 22, the Bible was talking about that if a man finds a good thing, you know, your if a man finds a wife, sorry about it, if a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. You understand? And obtain favor from God. That's actually in Proverbs 18:22. When a man finds a good thing, he finds a wife, finds a good thing, and he obtains favor from God. This is this is to tell us that God loves marriage. God loves it when a man and a woman come together and decide to spend the rest of their lives together. God supports it. God is all for it. So we must establish that. But you see, the issue of knowing who to spend the rest of your life with, because you don't really know what tomorrow is. You don't know what is going to happen if eventually you end up with this person, be it a guy or the lady. You are not sure of what will happen, what the marriage is going to turn out to be. But you see, there are some things you need to put in place, at least to try and ensure that you do not make a mistake of choosing a life partner. So that's what we'll be looking at this evening. That's what we'll be considering this evening. Like I said, getting married is a good thing and supported by God. So now, number one thing I want you to consider when choosing a life partner, that I want you to try and do when choosing a life partner, is to seek God's will. Again, in Proverbs 18:22, the Bible talks about when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. So it is important that you seek God's will. When you don't seek God's will, you're not finding his will, you're not finding what he wants for you or what he knows will be good for you. It is it's like you saying to your dad that, Dad, I don't need you any longer in my life. Just stay on your own. I want to start doing things on my own. But you see, when you hand over your marital affairs, when you hand over your marital life, your future partner to God, because God is the one that creates marriage, which is the institution you want to go into. So God is the one that creates marriage, and you should be rest assured that when you say, God, I seek your will, because he's the creator of marriage, he's the creator of the union, I can assure you that God will not turn his back on you. Yes, he's not going to turn his back on you. He's going to support you all the way, provided you seek his will, provided you are after his will, provided you are ready to give yourself to his will. Now, sometimes, one of the prayers I prayed while I'm trying to get married, or while I'm trying to choose a life partner for myself then was, I was praying to God that, God, I do not want to run away from your will. However, let my own will, at least probably 50% of my will or some percentage of my will, be found in your will for me. Yes, I prayed that prayer. I told God that. And guess what? It's exactly what God did for me. I found my will in the all-encompassing will of God for my life. So it is important that you seek God's will. Seek God's will. So the next point I want you to also consider is that you need to love yourself. I've not arranged these things in any particular order. So just, follow me through as I just pick them. The list of what you need to consider or what you need to do before you decide on a life partner is inexhaustive. So I just pick some talk to you about. Maybe in subsequent videos, we may also talk about others as well. But if you can consider the ones we're going to discuss today, that I'm discussing with you today, it will really help you, it will really help you a lot. So love yourself and take good care of yourself. This is a very important thing. You need to love yourself. Because when you don't love yourself, you cannot be, you are not able to even love others. No wonder the Bible said that love your neighbor as yourself. You understand? Because you first of all love yourself before you are able to love another person. When you love yourself, you are able to have love for someone else. And it is important that you love yourself truly. Okay? It's very important that you love yourself truly in this regard, because when you don't love yourself truly, it's possible you take the wrong decisions. Wrong decisions, of course, such like choosing the wrong partner. But if you love yourself and you love your life, you will not just jump into any relationship. You will not just jump on anybody and say, oh, you are my life partner, you're the one I want to spend my life with, and all those stuff like that. But when you love yourself, you are able to take care of yourself. You're able to look good, buy yourself clothes, you treat yourself well, you enjoy yourself. You make sure that you yourself, you are happy. This is very important when you're trying to choose a life partner. Because when you take care of yourself and you're happy, you look good, you're in the right state of mind. In fact, whoever is coming to be with you as a life partner will know that I'm coming to meet somebody who has taken care of him or herself. I'm not coming to try to take care of this person is able to take care of him or herself. The person does not really need me to come and take care of him or her. So it is important that you take care of yourself, and don't make the mistake of saying that you need somebody to come and complete you. God created you complete. You are a complete entity. You are a perfect creation of God. So don't mix it up, okay? Don't get it wrong. You are a perfect creation of God. So don't let anybody tell you that I am coming to make you perfect. No. Or I'm coming to complete you. No. Every single person that God has created them perfectly. The Bible said that when God created everything, he saw that all that he had created were good. It wasn't as if Adam was imperfect or not complete, but he needed a help meet for the work that God has given to him. You see, at this point, I would also like to drive home one of the purposes of marriage that we are not really considering. I'd like to drive that point home. I'm sorry if the network is a bit not good. I don't know, my network is acting up this evening. So the point I want to drive home is we need to understand that God instituted marriage so that his will can be propagated throughout the earth. You understand? So that his will can be propagated throughout the earth. And one of his will, aside from the fact that he asked us to multiply, one of the things God wants us to multiply is his will, his own image, his righteousness, his word. That is one essence of marriage that we are not putting into consideration. Some of us get into marriage, we fail to inculcate in our children the principles of God, the principles of the Bible, the principles that we believe in God. We fail to replicate that in our children. We neglect that part. So it's important that you don't forget that. I'll probably be treating that some other time in the future. So please ensure you're taking good care of yourself. Taking good care of yourself. So the next thing we're going to be considering is also that you embrace and enjoy your singlehood. Don't be in a rush. Embrace and enjoy your singlehood. Some of us think singlehood is a bondage. We think singlehood is a disease. We treat it as if it's a disease, like something that is not good, something that is a, what's that word now? Like it's a scar or something, something that you should be ashamed of, especially those of us who have of age, maybe above 30, and you feel because you're still single, then anybody that comes, you should just get into a relationship with that person. That is very wrong. Enjoy your singlehood. Provided you are following God's word, following God's will, you're following the will of God, one day your life partner will meet you. You will meet your life partner and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. So please don't be in a rush to just jump into any relationship or to just jump in on anybody and say, yeah, you're my life partner or something. Don't ever be in a rush. If you rush, you may eventually rush out. So be patient enough to see, okay? Be patient enough. Enjoy your singlehood. Do things you should do right now that you're single, because the truth is once you get into a relationship, it's not going to be, it's going to be a different ball game. Let me put it that way. It's going to be a different ball game because it's not the two of you. You want to start considering your partner before you try to do anything. One of the things you can do in your single, you could face your education, you could develop yourself, you could do some personal development programs, to get you, to a particular level, in self-development and all that. There are a lot of things you can also try and venture into, businesses and all that. You could grow personally in your singlehood, grow personally. Don't be in a rush at all. Don't be in a rush at all. So we quickly go to the next one. I know the network is not too Good. I'm very, very sorry about that. Don't worry. This video will still be available after this live show, and then you can go back and watch it. Um, I would like to thank those of us who are online. I appreciate you. Appreciate you taking time to be here despite the network being somehow. So the next thing I'm looking at here is you look before you leap. LBYL. That's the way I call it. LBYL. Look before you leap, because love is not blind. Don't let anybody tell you that love is blind. Love is never blind. Love is smart. Yes, love is smart. Love is intelligent. Love is wise. Love is not blind. If you read the Bible, it says love is patient. Love is is patient. One of the things that love is that many people just don't like to look into is that love is patient. But let me come back to this. Look before you leap. Yes, examine first before you jump into that relationship. And there are a couple of things I'm going to list out here for you to look before, to consider before you know, decide to go into a lifelong relationship with your partner. Choosing a life partner is very important. It's a lifelong thing. So we will move straight right now. The first thing I listed there that we should look at is, does this person who wants to spend the rest of his or her life with you, does this person love God much more than he loves you? In case you're in a relationship already, please consider this. Seriously, consider it. Seriously, consider it. Don't think I'm too spiritual. I'm not being too spiritual, but this is very important, because God has to be part of your relationship. He has to be part of your marriage. So you must check if this individual that you want to spend the rest of your life with, does this person love God more than you? If the person loves you more than God, there's a problem. Yes, there's a problem. It means the person would rather go with your own will than God's. And initially, I mean, in the first place, you submitted yourself to the will of God. So it's important that that person also has submitted himself to the will of God, or herself to the will of God as well. And that will reflect in him loving God much more than you. And because God is an advocate of marriage, God supports marriage, it's important that he loves God more than you. You understand? Because when he loves God more than you, he is not able to hurt you because he doesn't want to sin against God. When he loves God more than you, he wants to be a responsible man. He wants to be a responsible woman. He wants to perform his duty as a man. He wants to perform his duty. I mean, she wants to perform her duty as a woman. So it's important that you check if your partner or your intending spouse, loves God more than you. I'm not trying to be too spiritual, but this particular point is very, very important. Very, very important. So I'm going to go to the next one quickly. And the next one says anger handling. Anger and handling. You see, one thing I have come to understand, and I think is very important in relationship, is handling of anger, especially for the men. Many of us lose ourselves when we are angry. I once had that problem and I had to work on it. Seriously, intentionally, I worked on it. Because when you cannot control your anger, there's a problem. There's a serious, serious problem. Very serious problem. So if you're going into a relationship with somebody, please check, how does this person, handles his or her anger. So it's not only the guys, the ladies too, sometimes lose themselves when they are hungry. So you need to ask yourself that question. How do this guy or this lady handles anger? Does the anger control him or her? Does he get angry and it's acting like a wild animal? Does he get angry and is smashing things? Does he get angry and tries to hurt himself, or tries to hurt you yourself, or tries to hurt somebody around him? How does this person handle anger? This is very important. Please don't skip it for anything. These are the things some people do not check while before they go into marriage, and this can lead to domestic violence. This can, and domestic violence has led to even murder, costing the life of a man or the life of a woman. So it's important that you check if this person is able to manage his or her anger. So we quickly go to the next one. Excuse me. The next one is jealousy reaction. How does your intending partner, the person you want to be with, the person you're intending to spend your rest of your life with, how does this person react to jealousy in public, one, and also privately? You understand? I had this wrong way of reacting to jealousy when myself and my wife were cutting, and it almost cost us the relationship. It's because when you don't be in control, when you're not in control of these things, like anger, there's going to be problem. There's going to be problem, a lot of problem. My way of handling jealousy then wasn't okay for my wife right now, who was my fiance then, wasn't okay, and she became afraid of the relationship. And of course, I don't blame her when she wanted to break the relationship because of my anger, because of my reaction to jealousy and all that. So please check whether you are the guy or you're the lady. Check, check, check. When you're deciding to get yourself into a relation that leads to marriage, or you're deciding to settle down with someone, please check the jealousy reaction, how that person reacts to jealousy. If you're okay with it, great. If you're not okay with it, do something about it. Do something about it. So I'll move quickly to the next one because I know network is a bit not good. So move to the next one. Now, same interest. This is where some of us, excuse me, this is where some of us miss it. Now, when we talk of same interest, I can bring it into compatibility, being compatible in what you're interested in. I also want to talk about in you do your thought flow and all that. Now, same interest. If you find out that what you're interested in is not what your partner is interested in, where the problem comes in is, for example, if you are the outgoing type, you love to visit places and all that. It's your interest to just go around, visit places, cinemas, eateries and all that. And probably your partner does not is not that kind of person. Is probably the indoor type, wants to stay indoor always and all that. It's important that you consider such things and ask yourself, can you cope with this? Can you come down to the level of this your partner, or move up to the level of your partner who loves to go out or who does not love to go out? Will you be able to cope? You need to check that interest. Check your interest in what you enjoy doing, what you 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 really enjoy spending your time doing, especially your leisure time. You understand? Maybe when you're home weekends and all that. What do you like to do? And are the interest of both of you compatible? Can it coexist? You understand? Can it coexist? And it's very good to have the same interest because it means you guys will be able to do what you want to do together. You understand? It's very good. And my advice for you, if peradventure you find out that the person you want to settle down with have different interests, try and examine the interest of your partner and see how you can also, you know, engage yourself in it so that both of you can always participate in such things, in future as you try to get married. It's also important. I said I was going to talk about compatibility. Compatibility is not necessarily in, oh, we think the same way. Before I call, she's trying to call me, means our mind are together and all that. Yeah, while all those are important, it is also important that you look at this thing from a broader view. Compatibility is way beyond that. Compatibility, you want to consider your vision. Are your visions compatible? Yes. Are your visions really compatible? You may have a vision to be something else, and your wife or your husband may have a vision to be somebody else. You check, are these two things compatible? Can they coexist? This is very important. It's very important that you check all these things so that you don't feel bored or caged in your relationship. Like it's not just, going well. So you need to consider all these things. So we go quickly to the next one. And the next one says, consider genetics. Consider genetics. It is important that you consider your genetic, um, what will I put it now? Your genetic making. Yeah, let me put it that way. Your genetic making. What makes up your genetics? And we're talking about genotype, blood group. Very important. Very, very important. I'm probably going to invite a doctor one of these days to come talk to us about the importance of considering your genotype and blood group when you're getting married, when you're trying to choose a life partner. Many people have neglected this part and they've lived to regret it. They've lived to regret it. So it's important that you um, consider this. Very, very important. Very, very important. So I'm not going to dwell too much on that. I'm going to just quickly move on. Yeah. You also need to check if the person you're intending to get married to or the person you're intending to spend the rest of your life with has a good and godly character. Does this person fear God? Does God mean anything to this person? Does this person see God as an entity that is all knowing, an entity that has the say over your relationship? So you need to check all these things. Does this person fear God? Does this person know God? Does this person do things in a godly way? And all those things. So you need to check the godly character of that person. The person's perception, is it godly? The person's views on matters, is it godly? And all that. So these are things you need to really, really check. I want to really apologize to you guys tonight. The network is really, really, really bad. But like I said before, you have this video after this recording, and I want to believe it's going to be a good one at the end of the day. So once again, I apologize. I apologize seriously. I'm actually to serve you better, for you to have made much better experience. I'm working on getting a better network. So just please bear with me. So I'll quickly go to the next one. Vision. Vision. While we were growing up, in school, even in our institution, they've always told us, uh, tell the ladies especially, that marry a man with vision, not a man with television. It is important that whoever you're going to spend the rest of your life with, it's important that that person has a vision. The person has a vision. Whether you are the man or you're the lady, consider if that person has a vision. This is very important. I'm not going to overemphasize it because it's a broad topic on its own, but it's important that you person has a direction, has a place that is going to, has something he wants to achieve in life, has something he wants to do in life. This particular point of vision is very important so that you don't just enter into a relationship not knowing where you are going to. Sometimes when you enter that relationship, ensure there's vision, even if you don't know it before you enter. Ensure that your partner has a vision. So there's still one more. Yeah. So this one that says, don't be controlled by the chemistry. Very important, guys. Very, very important. Don't be controlled by chemistry. Don't let the chemicals in your body help you decide who is right for you. Don't even try. It's going to destroy you. It's going to destroy you. Because let me tell you something about this. If your chemical is your controlling factor, you may see it as, yes, this is how you feel in your body, this is how you feel in your emotions for this person. These are just chemicals going, you know, round and round in your body, just the way God has put it there. But these things does not depict if you love this person or not. If you truly love this person or not. You need to be in control and in check of this chemical, this chemistry of your body, so that it doesn't cause you to take the wrong decision. It does not cause you to leap before you look. Yes. Because when you get into marriage, these chemicals will put itself into check. It's not going to feel the same way you're feeling right now. You understand? It's not going to feel the same way you're feeling right now. There are so many marriages today that have broken up because the man is not feeling the same way he felt before he got married to the woman. Yes. And then the other important role he had to play with his wife, which is sex, he's no longer playing it because chemical whatever that was happening then has died down right now. You understand? So it's important that you don't get um, controlled by these emotions or by lust. By lust, yes. So please put this into consideration. So I'm going to quickly take the next one. Now we're considering that you should position yourself for a relationship after you've done all those things I've mentioned um, initially. Now position yourself for a relationship, like you get ready to enter into a relationship or you get ready to move into marriage. Okay, start with good friendship. Don't jump into a relationship that, okay, yes, I've said yes to him or I've said yes to her and we're going to get married. First, start with, remember you're trying to choose a life partner. So don't jump into a relationship immediately. Okay, I mean a love relationship immediately. Start with friendship first. Good, godly friendship. During this time of friendship, you're going to see a lot of things. You're going to observe a lot of things. You're going to discover a lot of things about this other person. Okay, and that will help you in making your decision. So it's important that you start with friendship. Don't allow somebody to come today, especially the ladies, come meet you today and say, oh, I want to take you out, I want to get married to you. It doesn't work like that. Friendship comes in first, because when friendship comes in first before other things comes in, friendship is there lasting. So you don't try to change. um, Even when you now decide to get married to the person, let the friendship still stay. It's very important that friendship is part of a relationship. So, like I was saying, start with good friendship first. Start with friendship first. It's important that you do that. When you start with friendship first, it helps you discover a lot of things. It helps you in your decision making. Don't jump into anything. Like I said before, look before you leap. Don't just jump into it. Start with friendship, and that will get you most likely where you want to be. And then the last, this should be the last thing we are considering. Yes, the last one is be the right person for the right person. Be the right person for the right person. And what do I mean by this?